happening, and he doesn't have a reason to be upset. But I'm not good enough at anticipating what causes waves, and that pisses me off. I've been here long enough, I should know. I should know what his indicators are, but his indicators change, and that doesn't help.
Is he on any medication for anything?
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay, and you?
No.
Okay.
I did go on some while I was pregnant with Damon. I did a whole, I was really depressed. And so they had me on something. And I actually, and another reason why I believe Dale deserves multiple chances is because I got a multiple chance. I mean, I flipped out. I was cutting some potatoes for dinner, slicing up to make potatoes for stew pot, and I mean, this is the only blackout I've ever had that was an actual while you're awake. You know, not like last night where I was, or this morning, I guess, where it was taken from me, but where I was in the middle of doing something perfectly productive, and I was so upset during that time. I mean, he was stressed out, we were all stressed out, like, was unhappy.
This is after they popped your shoulder out?
No, this is back. This is what I was to tell you about.
Okay.
This is with Damon. This is, well, I was pregnant with Damon, and the chest freezer had gone out, and it was like, it sucked that the food went bad, but at the same time, it's a chest freezer. We have the food here, we'll just have to build it back up. But I mean, he was so pissed, and he threw it through the sliding glass door, and just was so mad. And I just remember I told me to play, and Karen was down, and I went to go cook dinner. And the next thing I know is he walked into the kitchen area and said, "What the fuck?" And focus. I mean, no picture.
Okay.
Picture. There's blood everywhere, and I'm just sitting there, and I have sliced myself, and I've just sat there and gave up, and I don't remember giving up.
You sliced yourself with a knife?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Where the scar is right there.
That's the prettiest one. There's quite a few of them in there, actually. But yeah, that was the one that I got the deepest, but I don't remember.
So
This is what pisses me off, is I don't remember doing it. I was slicing potatoes. I don't remember ever making the decision to slice my own multiple times. I don't remember sitting down by the dishwasher, and I don't remember just.
So that time, the fight's over, the freezer food went bad, he throws it through the sliding glass door, you're cooking stew, cutting potatoes, and the next thing you know, you sliced yourself here, and then, is that when you got the other little ones here? So that was all one time. Well, you cut deep enough there to get stitches. And you can't remember, you just woke up and it blood all over?
I remember hearing his voice, and it was blood everywhere, and
When he came in and said, "What the fuck?" And that's what brought you out of it?
he took me to the hospital, and I told them everything was fine, and that I wasn't upset or stressed, and that I just don't really know what happened, and they didn't buy it, that they had me call my doctor, and I got my stitches and went home. And that was my first time of me doing something.
Doing it to yourself.
No, just doing something stupid. I mean, I always thought I was a fighter. I mean, fight till the end and never get anywhere, but I always thought I was a fighter, and that's the first time I gave up, and I didn't know why. I mean, I didn't even talk to my doctor about it, and I did have to go to a counselor. They made me go to a counselor for that, and I never got the why. Even with the counselor, there was no startling
Revelation that answered your question as to why did I do this.
It was just always going to be a blank spot of time that I lost, that I did something that horrific to myself.
What was his reaction to it? Did it scare the hell out of him, or was it one of those?
You're so fucking stupid. And well, we're at the hospital, he was just about medical bills were gonna
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's just stupid, but no, he popped my shoulder with Jeff and Kelly back to where we were at, and Jeff and Kelly quit being my friends, and
Jeff popped it back in for you.
mm-hmm.
That must have hurt.
It did hurt.
Yeah.
Not bad, actually. I didn't know.
And you didn't, you just let it go. Did you leave him? No? Stan living in the house at this time, right?
Mm-hmm. I got Stan, Rhiannon, Karen, and Dean.
Nobody witnessed it because you guys were in the garage?
Jeff and Kelly was there.
They did witness him pop your shoulder up.
Mm-hmm.
How did he do it? Did he grab at you?
He wound up shoving me into, we had cabinets in the
Okay,
garage, and
yeah.
he wound up shoving me into the cabinets, so I caught myself on the stupid door.
Okay.
And it actually just, the way the angle he had pushed me any other angle, it would have just been a shove. But
Right.
the angle he pushed me at actually, and I mean, it was painful.
And that was because he was pissed off you were spending so much time with her?
So he was pissed off that, and she had mentioned that there was a play that her mom had tickets for.
Okay.
And I said, sure, I'd like to go.
And he didn't want you to go. Then he went down across the garage.
Yeah.
So friendship ends, they don't want any part of that.
Right?
And you get popped back into place and continue on.
And then we moved to this house in
Out here in Dover. When did you guys move in there?
April.
How did you find that house?
I looked it up, and it was in foreclosure through Craigslist.
So you purchased it then?
We thought we were purchasing it,
Yeah.
and we found out there's a whole big, huge, we're in the middle of a legal battle right now, which I know is another reason why Dale is stressed out. And I understand that, but there are better ways to take out your stress than being asked for, and I get that. Or
So you guys thought you were buying it?
everyone went up and worked out for like $30,000, and they still own the warranty deed to it. And
The owners do.
not the owners,
Bank.
the investment company that stepped in, and the owners signed paperwork while we were in the middle of buying it from the bank. So it's a huge, huge mess. And we've been dealing with it, and we've done our things, and we've done a good job, and there's not much more we can do about it until we go to court. You know?
Well, and so that happened, you guys moved April 2008, just so we can kind of get a timeline as to when you guys moved out here.
Yep.
So you guys moved out here from Loma Vista, the house on Loma Vista, which is here in Dover too?
Mm-hmm.
What was the address up there?
340 West Vista.
Okay. So you guys were over that way then?
We were covered right.
Yeah. Okay. And then you move over here thinking that you're purchasing a home, then when you find out, which we read about in the paper every day, people getting screwed over that whole deal. And now you guys are finding out that you owe $30,000 plus.
Well, we lost $30,000.
You lost
Gave us a
$30,000.
down payment,
Yeah.
and we're still making a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And if we don't make a mortgage payment, the house can be taken from us. But if we do make the mortgage payment, then if the judge rules that it's their house, we've just given somebody else money for free.
So that's stress going on.
You know what, though? It's okay.
It's okay.
We've all survived it. People have survived worse. And I mean, God, there are people who have picked themselves up from crap far worse than what Dale and I are going through. So why the fuck can't we do it nicely?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's go to, you mentioned something a little bit ago too about the company that he's working for. He's working towards becoming a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's stressful. I mean,
Yeah,
what's
because
going
now
on?
he's having to prove, well, he wants a partnership, he's been offered the opportunity to buy in for it, but of course he has to prove that he's worthy to buy in for it. So he's working so much overtime, he's putting in all the extra hours, he's having to step it up and act like a cruise ship leader, and even though that's something he's good at, it's a lot more than what he's used to.
He's gone all the time.
A lot.
How do you feel about that?
I would love to say that it just hurts me, but when he's gone, we don't fight. And it's home, and we have less stress.
So the more he's away from the house, the better it is, because you're not fighting, you're not arguing.
Then he comes home and he spends a lot of time with the kids and plays with them with stupid stuff, and he laughs and giggles and plays, you know.
What does he spend genuine quality time with you, with Marissa?
He has been recently, but it seems to be recently after I have an episode. So I don't know if it's genuine quality time or I screwed up and I'm trying to make everything okay. He's
So,
really good at apologizing and
trying to make that stuff go away, gloss over it,
trying to make the good stuff right enough that it...
glosses over wherever at them. You push it back.
Yeah.
When did things start getting out of control? As far as, a lot of stuff's going on from April between the partnership, the house, the finances, things are kind of here and there. You're at home with the girls.
First draft that was everything in September.
Okay.
So we made it 5 months before it got really bad.
So it was building up for 5 months.
There was little pushes and shoves and arguments and stuff, but nothing. And he got so mad at me and he slapped me so hard across the face. And
This was in September of 2008. Okay, and this is the one you went to go with Marcy that the doctor was telling me about today. Okay, so what happened on that one?
he was angry at me.
You guys were involved in another verbal
Just
fight.
having another, and it wound up being, and he slapped me and he scratched my eye and I thought I'd be okay. And I waited and waited and waited and it didn't get better and it hurt more and hurt more and hurt more and then I went down to the hospital because I couldn't open my eye anymore.
Which eye was it?
The one that I scratched,
Yeah.
when you remember it. Was it your right eye that time or my left one? Because I had growths on both of them now. The one I think I went to the hospital for, I think that was my left,
Okay.
I think.
So he hit you across the face with his hand.
But it
Scratched
caught
it?
just
Okay.
wrong. And,
Scratch the cornea?
yeah, I
Okay.
had to do this oily cream and then keep it covered from wind and stuff. And
How long did you wait before you went to the hospital?
well, when it first hurt, I thought, okay, it'll be fine. I'll just go to bed. I'll take some Tylenol. I'll be okay. I woke up in the middle of the night, dying in agony. My eye, I couldn't open it because it was so swollen. There was no way to open it. And they actually had to numb my face so that they could open my eye large enough to find out what was wrong with it. It was quite a mess, actually. And I've actually done that on both eyes because he totally likes the idea. He's a good backhander, too.
You did it to the other eye too?
I've done it to both eyes. I can never wear contacts again.
So when did the one or the other happen? After that one or before?
It was before that one.
Did you go to the hospital for that one too?
I went to the ophthalmologist for that one. I went to
Platinum.
So
When was
he's
that?
up in Scottsdale.
Was that the
We've
girls?
been at the Little Vista house.
Okay.
So
So Loma Vista, how long did you guys live there?
I knew.
Okay, so you guys must have lived
Well,
there
it was
in
a
2007?
big year. Yeah, it was 2007.
2007? Okay. So you go to the hospital, you find out you have a scratch,
It was 2007.
scratch to the cornea.
Mm.
Did they ask you what happened?
Yeah, I told me I didn't know.
Told them you didn't know? You just woke up with your eye all swollen? And they believed you?
I seemed to believe him.
Was he with you?
Stan brought me because I couldn't drive myself.
Did Stan know what happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this, because I know I haven't asked you to this point. When this stuff was happening, did Stan know that you were being physically abused? And you went and told him about all what was going on?
I didn't have to tell him at the time.
Why not?
Or he'd be busy getting the kids out of the way so they wouldn't see. He was always very good about helping me make sure that my daughters never knew.
Stan was. Because he get the kids out of the room before he knew it was coming. Did he ever go after Dale at any time during this when Dale was putting hands on
Stepped
you?
up to Dale before and told him knock it off, and he's spoken to him before, but Stan's actually not a very confrontational person,
Okay.
which is another reason why this morning is not right. he's not a confrontational person. He doesn't scream, he doesn't yell. He very rarely raises his voice, or if he does, 9 times out of 10 it's jokingly, not in any way angry. But I also still say it's my business, not his. And
what was his comment to that?
this is being a part of the family, so it's my business too.
Have you ever seen Stan get to that point, though, where he became so enraged or got mad? In the 6 years that he's lived with you and the 8 years that you've known him?
I have never seen Stan get enraged or mad.
He's pretty even keel.
He's very mellow. I mean, very mellow, which is actually quite calming and nice, because he's one of those that if my daughter's having a bad day at school, she can go sit down in the room and just be like, oh, watch some anime with me? And they'll sit down and watch anime, and just sitting in a room with someone who's just calms her down enough to say, okay, now I need to go talk to my friend. And then she'll go talk to her girlfriend who's
So he's basically, the girls have grown up with him. They probably consider him a brother.
He's Uncle Stan as far as I'm concerned.
Great relationship.
Very great relationship. They love Uncle Stan. I mean, he's
never got upset with the girls, or...
like when he's screaming, I shouldn't even say screaming, because he doesn't scream, but when he punishes them, it's like, go to your room, you didn't clean your room, or you didn't pick up your dishes, and it's always because they didn't do something they were supposed to do, so it's not like they can ever say that he's unfair or unjust. It's always... and you'll just see the little huff of and go, yeah. No, I mean, he's just always been there. I mean,
what has he witnessed? What you told me so far on the abuse, what did he witness to where he saw Dale put hands on you, if you can remember back? Did he see when you got struck in the eye that time where your cornea got scratched?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so he was present during that one.
Yes, yes.
And then he took you to the hospital. He go to the hospital afterwards.
I wasn't going to ask him. I didn't even ask him to. I thought I was going to ask him to get myself because it hurt so bad. And I think I was asleep. Everybody else is asleep and it's a hard time to go. I might be able to get home before, everybody needs me again. And I went to go look out and I turned the light on and it hurt so bad. I turned the light on that I actually cried out, and he came out and said, what are you doing? And I was like, I gotta go to the hospital. I can't see anything. And I turned around and he said, yes you do, let's go do the piece. And he drove me, and I mean, he was very mild about it, though. It wasn't like he didn't give me crap that I needed to be smart. He didn't.
What did he say to Dale when he saw Dale strike you that time?
Normally, and he said quite a few times, and he's always used the same phrase of, Dale, it doesn't need to come to that. And, or Dale, knock it off. Go, and he always says, go away. So that, because we've all been told by Dale, who went through his anger management, that if he's getting out of hand, we're supposed to tell him to go away so that he can go and relax somewhere else and come back, and that never works. Telling him to go away does not work.
Makes things worse. Go away. Did Stan strike him?
No. Stan has only, he did actually strike Dale once in our bedroom, and Dale threw a coffee mug at me, and Stan was walking our bedroom with a folded laundry that needed to be put away, and he saw the coffee mug fly. I ducked and it flew by and it hit the wall.
Was this the new house?
Mm-hmm. And,
in the bedroom there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Stan just dropped the laundry and went over, and he slapped Dale and was like, get a fucking clue. And he turned around and walked away. I mean, that was his, he was like, okay, that.
When was that?
That was recently. That would have been right before Christmas. And then the instance right before Christmas,
This was the one, so in September was the eye. You go in, you don't tell them anything, and then you get bandaged up, you come home.
nobody deals with it.
No, we did, but we just move on. Until the girls happen.
And we got something in there.
Okay. So, Stan knows what's going on. Stan knows that you're getting hit. He's been present during that one.
He's been present for quite a few of them.
Okay. From the time he's been living with you. Was he in the garage when your shoulder got dislocated?
He was not in the garage when the shoulder got dislocated, but he put like simple bitch slaps and...
You're just basically telling me about the major stuff, to where there was an injury involved.
Yeah, there's always...
But during that time, when he's living with you, he is seeing you getting slapped. He knows you're getting hit. He knows you're getting struck. Coffee cups are
Or,
flying across.
arms being dragged down the hole.
Did the coffee mug hit the wall and break?
It hit the wall, but it didn't break.
Didn't put a dent in it?
Did it put a dent in it? No, it didn't, because the picture didn't work because it's an oil.
Oh, they put a picture on the wall?
It hit the picture that I had to rehang the other with the new, better clippy thing, because the other one kept letting the picture fall.
Oh, that's the one you were telling me about when you broke your thumb because you were putting that back up. Okay, so tell me about then, okay, September the eye, now October rolls around, a month later. This is Mom's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the shoulder injury. You were riding a horse and you fell out.
I fell off the horse. I did fall off the horse.
How did you fall off the horse?
Some asshole doesn't realize you don't pull on a cinch strap when you think it's funny. Or I know where your cinch strap was.
Now you're going to be in that. I know a little bit about horses, and I've ridden them a couple of times. I know you got a couple horses at the house. You ride. The girls are in lessons right now. What you just told me, you're going to have to give me a little bit more detail.
Okay, right. Let me see this real quick. I'll just put it to basic horse's body. Okay, really basic because I'm not a good drawer.
Alright.
At all. Alright, so we got the hind leg area, right? Have your saddle up here, correct? You have your first cinch strap, which goes around.
Okay.
There's a secondary cinch strap.
Okay.
And then you have a breast collar. Now, I prefer to use breast collar in front. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a breast collar with Sally, so I did a tight front cinch, and I did a loose rear cinch.
Okay.
And I told Bailey and Stan, both of them, do not tighten this.
You're on the horse?
I'm on the horse,
Okay.
and they're, making sure the blanket's comfortable, because she was a newer horse to our family.
Okay.
I'd ridden her at where we had gotten her from, but I hadn't ridden her in our yard, and I was trying to break her into our yard with me, and she'd already ridden with me, no problem. I mean, I'd ridden with her quite a few times. I actually did bareback with her, but this time I wanted to get her used to the saddle that I just got from the girls, and I wanted her to
See what it is, yeah.
And so I did this one. I said, do not tighten this one. I said, she's not used to a rear cinch. I do not want her to buck me.
I got you.
There's a pull where you pull it down this way and the thing clicks. It's not like a metal clicker. It's like a belt, but if you pull it down far enough, it'll go back into a hole because the leather's cut that way. They'll be the smartass. Says, you mean this one? And pulled it down. And it cinched 3 more notches, and she started bucking. And I couldn't get her to stop. And I'm a little pissed. And I did have to take a dive, and I did hurt my shoulder taking a dive. But I moved her around 3 times before we did this. I just had asked her to come over and, check and make sure that she wasn't, because a horse, if you press on different areas right underneath where the saddle is, sometimes if they have some pressure, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And while you're on it, you can definitely find out if there's pressure that you don't get to know if you just put the saddle on and test with your hands, because you have to wait. And I was like, if you guys could just press on it and let me know. It was just being a mess.
So he pulls it, and she starts bucking, and you go flying off, and you land on your...
Second, and I fractured it. But the problem is I should have never had to deal with that. I went her around the yard
Mhm.
3 or 4 times before she even decided to.
With the saddle on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the saddle on.
And so you just wanted them to check it? And
Just to
then-
check it, and he thought it'd be funny to tighten the cinch strap. And
You tighten it.
after I'd already said, don't do this.
And Stan was there watching?
Yeah, Stan was like, well, maybe he doesn't know anything about horses and didn't understand what he said. And I'm like, oh, maybe.
Does he know about horses?
I'm gonna leave it with him because he claims to hate animals and yet he knows so much about them.
Has he ridden before?
He has ridden horses, but he doesn't like riding.
Okay.
But he's really a motorcycle person, he says.
Mhm.
But for him to know how to pull the cinch strap to make it tighten tells me he's used something similar then that he understood the mechanism of how that works. Not a big deal. So that one happened. Then
And you went to the emergency room for that
I
one?
went to the emergency room. I told him I just dove off the horse and I did it myself. And then I was like, if she bucks like a normal buck, not a buck from pain, that's why she was bucking. It was basically, he tightened it so hard here that
Oh my God.
he basically, it would be like crushing your bladder and your stomach together.
Yeah.
You fight back,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
If she had bucked like a normal horse who wasn't in pain but was being stubborn, you can actually, tighten the rein and twist it so that their neck comes one direction and just slap them.
Mhm.
And they'll stop. I mean, you have to hold on, but I know how to do that. I've been riding for years. I'm not, a novice rider. I know how to jump. I know how to,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was something, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to fix my horse's hoofs. I know how to, like.
What did he do when you got bucked up and you landed on the ground? What was his reaction?
Get rid of the fucking horse.
That's what he said? Was he laughing?
Yeah, he said, now you know why I said we should hang out. Let's get rid of the fucking horse.
And walked away?
And we walked away and I let her back in the pen and then I was trying to get the saddle off because I was going to leave her all pissed off. I loosened the cinch really quick and she calmed down and we will walk her back in the pen and I loosened everything and I just couldn't lift my arm. It was like I could do this
Yeah.
with my elbow but couldn't lift. It was really weird. I don't know how to explain exactly the limitation of movement because at that point I wasn't hurting.
Yeah.
It was just,
You just couldn't move it past that certain point. Yeah.
can't. And I was trying to get the saddle off and he came over and helped me remove the saddle. And he said, what's wrong? I'm like, you need to go to the hospital. And he went to the hospital with me. And he did try for me.
Okay.
He was up with me. And then on the 24th,
December?
right before Christmas, he ran around in the driveway and sniped me a couple times and then kicked me twice because I bought the girls scooters.
For Christmas? Where did he snap you?
He did the throw down and he was hitting my back. It was, I curled, instantly, and he did a good push and I was like, oh God, I'm dead. And I just curled on the ground and I screamed. And when I got back up, Stan was outside.
Where was he kicking you?
He kicked me in the back and on the butt.
Okay.
And I did have minor bruises, but it wasn't anything.
So you scream, you're on the ground, he's kicking, he gave you a good kick, and then Stan's there. Where were the girls?
The girls were inside the house, so I don't know. Nobody ever mentioned they saw anything, and I just left it.
What did Stan say to Dale?
I think Dale just walked in the house and Stan just kind of stood there.
What did you say to Dale?
I had Stan didn't say anything until after he got back out. I went inside the house because he came back out the garage door, so I ran to his front door and I went and grabbed my wallet and my purse. And then I told him I went and I went to go in the house and watch a movie and lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him to take a phone. Because I couldn't get all of them. You can't get all of them in the car fast enough that I can get them in the room. And as I walked past him, I told him to make sure he doesn't touch the girls. And it's not that he's ever touched the girls, but I'm not there, then where is he going to go? I mean, the next most reasonable choice would be one of them. And I got in the car, and I was basically going to get far enough that I could make a couple phone calls and have him banging on the window and trying to get through, but he stood in front of the car and ended up not backing up and make sure the phone was getting it out. And
Going back in the house?
going back in the house.
Did you guys talk about it?
Our discussion about it was, don't ever do that to me again, and he said, okay. And we started getting ready for Christmas.
Was your mom here?
She wasn't here that day, she was here the day before.
Did Stan see him kicking you? Or?
I don't know if Sam saw that or if I saw it.
Okay. Did you go to the hospital?
I did not go to the hospital. You know, you try not to go to the doctor or the hospital because there's only so many times you can lie the same life till people figure it out. And I prefer them to figure it out. That's like everyone doing things.
So you make it to Christmas. You get to New Year's. Anything happened during that week, that time?
No, New Year's it was back to good. And we actually went out and hung out and had a good time together. And
You and Dad? Okay.
And quite impressive actually. And then the AAC job started back up. Because right before that there was AAC job during December, and like AAC was one of the jobs that was doing at work, and it was horrible. He hated it. And he was basically the head lead member of everything, so he had to do all these responsible for everything done right, and it was very stressed out.
And this was during the month of December?
December and beginning of January.
Okay. And still working a lot of hours?
He was not acting listening. He's kind of back down a little bit because there's not as much. It's not like the AAC job where we had to put in that kind of hours to get it done because it was a big job.
So you're still, Sandra's not working, you're staying at home with the girls and the animals, and he's going to work.
Yep.
New Year's goes pretty good. Now we come to recent. What have things been like in the past week?
I got pausing. And then told him that I was very unhappy with my parents.
When was this?
I started planning last Friday.
Okay, so something led to that. So go from, I know right on the 24th there was the incident where, on the driveway. Excuse me, you made it through the holidays.
Passed my exam so that I could try to become a police officer, and I was really proud of myself.
Oh, you did?
And I told him I wanted to, because I did the citizens where if you pass that, then then, you know, when it comes time to hire you, you can sign.
You went through Citizens Academy here?
And I enjoyed it. It was great. It was awesome. And it's something I wanted to do, but he always told me that we had kids and I should think about them. But his job, he never had. So it's a great job. And I told him, my kids are old enough now. I said, I can do this. I said, it's the safest fucking one I can join if I'm going to join one. And I said, I think it would be fun. I can have the opportunity to help some people, and I think I'd like it. And so I started doing, they tell you what some of the prayers are, so I started running every morning, and got my mouth down, and I said, I wasn't there while he's asleep. And I always make sure I was up by 4:30. I would go do my run and be back so that I could be taking care of the animals by the time he got up, so that it was never a distraction from his.
Right.
And I did my running, you know, keep me at work. I do my sit-ups and push-ups and just make sure, and we got to see the different departments, and that was fun. And
so you're basically getting ready, your body and everything ready to take the test with Gilbert.
Yeah, I did everything that I needed to do to learn whether or not it was actually a commitment I wanted to make.
Okay.
And now I just have to wait that they're actually hiring, not just laterals, but actual.
So you didn't go through any of the testing process yet?
I took the written,
Okay.
and I did do the physical, and I took the written, and I did fine with those.
And you got a letter saying that you're basically on less until... Did you go through the oral board or anything yet? No, that's the next step. And when they start hiring. Well, good. I didn't know
Well, I
that.
was really proud of myself for that
You
because
should be.
it actually is something I wanted to do. And when he told me absolutely not, I said fine. And call it getting the backbone, but I decided I'm going to do it whether or not he wants me to. And so every day that I continued to go running was another day that I basically, in his mind, told him, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're fighting, and I told him I was unhappy and I wanted to consider a separation from divorce. And he flipped it, and I told him, don't you dare.
He what?
He started screaming, yelling, and
This was last Friday.
and I said, don't you dare. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, I'm done. And he kind of just looked at me like, I guess I've never actually, I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to think. Been that old. I mean, I'll yell at him when I know I'm justified, but I don't think I've ever been, no, this is for me, and you're not going to take it away from me.
Okay. So you stood up to him.
And he sat down and let go, and I typed up, and I don't have anybody writing the paperwork. I'm actually very capable of preparing most of the documents myself. I would have loved to have gone to law school, but so commitment I just couldn't make.
Right.
And so this is a different route to have some similar effect on something.
Did he say, no way, you're not going to separate, I'm not separating from you? Let me...
Well, he did, and I said, that's fine. I said, I'll file paperwork, you can fight it, and I said, I am going to ask that you leave the house then.
And this is basically you being bold and stepping up to him and saying, that's...
Sad move, don't even do that. This is people have to do that. And his big complaint was, they're going to take my kids from me. And I said, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I prepared a
Document.
50-50, I'm very open to changes, okay, you want to make a change, that's fine, you just have to, get permission.
This is basically for the girls.
It's all for the girls, yeah, it's all, because that was his big complaint.
But you told him he had to leave.
I told him I wanted him to leave and that we needed to discuss it, because I'm not going to kick somebody out on the curb, I'm not like that.
Did Stan know you were doing this? Did you talk to him and say, hey, I'm letting Dale know I'm testing for the
I
PD?
did not want Stan to know. I told him, I kept hinting that I wanted to do it, but I never let him know that I actually told Dale because I did not want him to have to help me defend myself against that. I did not want him to have to, well, why can't she do that in one of our conversations and again, because I wanted it to be me. I really wanted it to be.
You wanted it to come from you to him?
It's not fun. And it didn't work for him.
How did, I mean, I know he didn't, this isn't going to happen. How did it turn? What happened after you?
Now this stuff really I gave to him yesterday.
Okay, but last Friday was the initial fight where you said, this is what I want, and he basically...
He poo-pooed on that. And it didn't become a huge fight, I just said fine, and I didn't step on the couch.
Okay.
I mean, I just
How were things then from last Friday up until yesterday?
We were okay.
You guys talking?
We didn't talk. We just coexisted nicely. There was no fighting, no anything, actually.
Just kind of both living under the same roof, doing your thing.
Really?
Okay.
Being polite, though, I mean.
Did you contact an attorney to get advice as to how to go about this, or looking into doing a separation divorce type of a thing? Or you just drew up the paperwork on your own?
I drew up the paperwork on my own with the understanding that I was telling, and what I told them was, this isn't set in stone. We can go to an attorney together and state our needs and have it written the way we want it. And
Because he's not letting you go.
why?
That's what we need, because from what you're telling me, it's, no, this is not happening. So you guys, you tell him last Friday, and
It doesn't make sense, and it's not, and I told him, it's not that I didn't love you, it's that I just don't love us. And that's what I told him, is I just don't love us. I love him, he's an amazing person, he's just not an amazing person with me. Maybe with someone else, maybe the way he does with me. Maybe it's me, and maybe I bring it out of him. And I tried explaining that to him, he didn't get that. Maybe I make him the asshole that I hate. Maybe I think something. Maybe I do something just not right. And I don't know if that's in her mind. So,
well, you made the statement earlier, Marissa, that we push each other's buttons. You know what to push on him.
I do.
And he knows what to push on you. And so, that's, what buttons you can push on him to get him to get to that point. And so does he
But I
with
try
you.
to avoid them because I know the consequences that comes from it. Like this way, I just sit there and eat dinner and I just do the laundry, or I make sure all the bills are paid, I make sure he never has to worry about his bill not being on. Even if I have to juggle something or tell the girls they have to wait a couple extra weeks for something, make sure that he has $100 in his wallet so that he can get gas. Whatever it is to make sure that he's not grumpy, I try to make sure that I do. But it keeps adding to the list to the point where I can't anticipate what the list is anymore. I mean,
You don't know what's going to make him turn at any given moment.
so I would love to have the deal that I had back when we got together. I would like to have it.
Well, when you guys were dating,
He
the first time he abused you is on your wedding night. You go back to that, and right there, boom, that tells you. That was the first time. During the courtship and all of that, yeah. You look at relationships, and you're a very intelligent person, Marissa. I'm sure you read a lot. That courtship that's when everything's great, and then
I understand
right on your marriage.
There's gotta be something we're doing wrong to not have it be fixed by now. That's what I don't understand. There's gotta be something that I don't know what it is. It's almost a dynamic that I don't know where it's at. And that probably sounds really stupid, but I do truly believe that there's gotta be a way to fix that there. You can't tell me that we're both that fucked up that we can't make something that work.
Let me ask you this, do you guys communicate? Based on what you told me, like when these incidents happen, if he puts his hand on you and beats the shit out of you, I ask you, what do you do? What do you say? Nothing, I just go back in. You gotta communicate. Screw this. It's one of those things where the communication, so many times, so many relationships, you hit the nail on the head. The money's the big thing. And with you, it's like, hey, we're making do right now. We're doing what we need to do. We got a roof over our head. We got food on the table. But the male, because he's the provider, he stresses over it more so, because he's the one who's supposed to be keeping it all together and, you know, providing for the family and keeping you guys up to where you need to be.
I don't know that even what both of us came from. We've already achieved what we wanted to for the kids.
But if you don't communicate to one another, though, and tell each other, you know, it sounds like we're living under the roof together. And when it comes to the communication, you know, it's one of those things where that happens in relationships all the time. When I talk to people, do you guys communicate? Do you talk? And it's like, no. And if you don't know how to talk to each other, I'm sure when you started going to counseling in the beginning, a lot of the counseling when people go for it is where you got to
start a conversation.
Exactly. So when you sit there and you're blaming yourself and all that kind of stuff, see, those are the things that you need to look at when you say why does he get like that? And, you know, it's just, do we communicate? Do we talk it through? Do we talk it out? So don't sit there and beat yourself up and be, you know, it's just communicating, getting counseling, and finding out what those points are. And like you said, you don't know from day to day. Things change from day to day. So, you know, those are the things that
It's okay if
need
they
to figure out.
change, but they don't have to be. I mean, I should not have to have a kid drop a bowl and then run up and tell her go to your room so that I can take him screaming and yelling out of the fucking bowl. It's a goddamn bowl. I don't care if it costs money. It's like she purposely, you know, dropped it. Okay, she's like 6-year-old kid. She's gonna drop a bowl or 2 or 3, and you know.
You're going to be more pissed because you're the ones to clean it up.
I mean, that's what I don't understand is the intense anger over. Okay, so the kids, you know, wrote on the board a permanent marker instead of the expo pen. It's a fucking board.
It's better on the board than on the wall, believe me.
And these are the things that he just go irate over retarded things. Okay, I mean, you know, okay, she stole the car and, you know, ran it into our neighbor's brick wall or something. Go ahead and flip a freaking lid because, you know, I love you too. But she text messaged a boy and told him she thought he was cute and would like go to the movies with him. She's 13, get a clue.
Yeah.
She's my daughter. And you were any different? You know? I seem to remember you liked me. You know? It's just,
well, those are things that eventually...
I think, in all honesty, it's just, we need to go back to counseling. We don't need to find a counselor that can work with us.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's one of the things that you definitely don't sit there and start beating yourself up over for the years of shit that's been going on. I mean,
I knew it was like a perfect day for me because and that's not, that's me.
Now,
Come on.
let me ask you this. You went through the weekend and everything, no talking. And then you had the paperwork drawn out, nothing came of it. How were things Monday and Tuesday? Still just not talking, living under the same roof?
Monday, I sent some text messages, interview, hope you have a good day at work. I'm sorry I was tired when I got up in the morning because I got up really early and ran and done all the animals and was able to go back to bed. And I've tried to even do the little cutesy, which I'm really not a cutesy girl. I pretend that I can try to do it, but it's a lot of freaking effort for me. It doesn't come natural at all. You know, well, I'm gonna try. I was really trying to just let them know, look, I'm here. I do love you. And that's my way of trying to open the door to let them know to get back to me. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And really, I love the man. He's an amazing thing. But I don't know what.
So, we come to, what's today, Thursday? Wednesday. What was the mood in the house like? You worked yesterday?
Well,
Today's what? Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
So you got-
Tuesday, that's okay. Tuesday he went to work and I got with the kids and ran an incident at school. She stayed home from school.
Mm-hmm.
I let her stay home because she has a huge project to do and she was trying to finish up some of it and work on it. And that's fine. And at the school they go to, it's, I don't want to say relax, but you have to motivate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So she's motivating herself to get a project done. I'm going to let her do what she needs to do. She had some phone interviews to do for interviewing some people.
Mm-hmm. So she's home with you and,
We get the call, yeah, we get the call from the school that says, there's something we need your daughter. Okay, well, man, I keep on writing, so I'll go on and work, you can offer to me heading home, if you're still in school, feel free to come and stop by. You know, and you can be a part of this, because he always says that I complain he's not involved.
mm-hmm.
And I do. I complain he's not involved when he tells me I do absolutely jack shit nothing, and then he's not involved in everything else, so he doesn't realize that there's a lot of stuff I do. And I went to school and was definitely able to pick out what was and was not drawn for my daughter.
Okay.
And dealt with that. And he came and we discussed it. The school and everything seemed fine. Then I sat down and I said, Dale, I said, I know you don't want to talk about this. This is, but I said, I did draw up, and I didn't, I'm not sure if you read, I said I did draw up some paperwork about, you know, sharing time. And this is, I'd like you to just review it and tell me if you think it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is at the school?
no, this was at home.
Okay.
At home from the school.
Okay, all right.
You know, already agreed on Randall's punishment, so then I drive home with Randall, he drives home with Strap, and we both get home.
Okay.
And
Where do you have this conversation at?
in a bedroom.
Okay.
I didn't
It's your
want
own.
us to be involved.
Okay.
This was between him and I.
Okay.
And this is me trying to start communication here, because I would think if a man, you know, wants to stay married to me and thinks that our feelings is amazing, then maybe he would say, you know, there's other options besides this, or let's discuss this.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. He just got pissy with me.
Did you look at the paperwork?
Put it down on the bed and then folded it up and put it somewhere. And then I really didn't pay attention because
Do you know if you read it?
I don't know if he did.
Okay.
I don't really know because he got all pissy and I was just like, okay, never mind.
Did you stay in the room then?
No, I left it and then went and started dinner
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back in. And dinner was reheating Arby's that I already bought because I was too busy to cook that day. And came back in and
Did he come out and have dinner with family?
he did. Which,
Why do you seem so surprised?
uh,
Dale doesn't? He doesn't eat dinner with you? Why not?
because he was sitting at the computer eating and watching his TV shows.
And that's common.
Very constant.
So he comes home from work and he goes in the bedroom at the computer and watches TV
His domain.
to his domain. And you and the girls and Stan stay out in the other part of the
Well,
house.
Stan only stays in his room. Stan doesn't let me
Okay.
speak dinner either just because I don't push Stan. I'll remind him he needs to eat, but I really try to make sure that Stan can feel as independent and as adult-like as possible.
Okay.
Because I truly believe matters of the mind, you have to let them do that or else they just go crazy.
Okay. So he's back in the bedroom eating. You feed the girls.
And then I go back in the bedroom and start paper. He goes, I can't believe it. Why would you even consider this? This is totally things so that I said, we can do this. I said, because it's not right. And it was a little bit of a fight, but not much. And in order to calm him down, I made sure I didn't have to do it. So he laid down.
So, let me get this right. You guys are involved in a verbal, you want out.
Mm-hmm. I'm still married to him.
You're still married, okay, but you want out, you want to start a career, you got to get the hell away from him, you know, keep the
I
kids
would
involved.
prefer not to get away from
But just
him.
do separation to find out what's going
I just
on.
want him to not be a butthead.
Mhm.
You know, it's.
But then you walk in, well, hold on, you walk into the room, and he's like, yeah, right, he must have read the letter.
I'm assuming he did,
Okay,
unless he's just being a dick, because sometimes he'll fight just.
okay.
No.
So he reads the letter, and he's like, yeah, right, like, this is really gonna work. And so you guys get into a verbal argument about it,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
then
then we calmed down.
how did you, tell me how you got to the point to come down?
Stopped when we sat there and I was like, you know, like, look, and I told him, I says, I want to be your wife, I want to be their mom, I says, but I want to be me too.
Mhm.
I said, and we just need to figure out how to let you be you and you be me and us still be us together. And I'm really trying to explain to him that, you know, we became us with two totally separate people that were pretty decent people.
Mhm.
Why the hell is us not pretty decent with two totally cool people? And
Right.
what's he say? He actually says, well, I miss some of your, your creative little spunky things you used to do. And he said, you always told me they were stupid and a waste of time, so I quit doing them because I didn't want to, piss you off. And I mean, our talk went to actual genuine communication, which was, you said we don't have, we normally don't, but we were actually having a dialogue. It wasn't a monologue, it was a dialogue.
Mhm.
I would say something and he would respond with something that actually matched to what I said, not some other off the wall comment that was, I'm gonna watch Monk or I'm gonna,
Mhm.
I mean,
It's what it, with me right now, I mean, it's going from a week of no talk and living under the same roof. And you guys are just kind of coexisting in the same house, almost like the
this
Warren
is what we
Roses.
teach our whole marriage.
But then, yet last night there was a breaking point somewhere to where we're communicating here.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I was talking to him and he seemed to be listening to me. And I
Mhm.
said, this is great. Maybe we don't have to do separation. Maybe we can do us working on this. And I know you don't agree with me on this, and I know that your nurse does not agree with me on this, but I am married to the man, and I know part of marriage is that he gets to get laid. So I will take care of that until I am no longer his wife, because that's my job.
Well, okay, and that's, I'm not saying I agree with that, I'm just saying that, I've been married for 21 years and been with the guy for 25, and, I mean, everybody, when it comes to sex and what you do for your man, we all have our own individual opinions. And I'm not going to disagree with you on the way that you think, because that's your thought, that's your opinion on it. And so, I mean, that's what you think, is a man and a woman when they're married, it's your duty to have sex with him. And that's what you think. So, I mean, when you say I don't agree with that, that's how you feel. I mean, that's your opinion. I may not agree, whatever, but that's your opinion. I've got my own opinions,
I believe it's the right thing to do.
So you guys, you're getting along, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's have sex. Whose idea was it?
Well, no, it wasn't all of a sudden. It was, he laid down and
You lay down on the bed?
and
Was the girls in bed already?
no, they weren't in bed yet, but they were getting ready for bed.
So this was earlier in the night?
Yes.
Okay, what time do you think?
This would have been around 8:30.
It was Biggest Loser or American Idol on? Here, we'll find that season premiere or whatever.
He watches I don't really.
It was after dinner, so.
It was after dinner, and I mean, the girls had, you know, a little bit, and they were. How to make sure that the shirts are folded properly, and the pants are put in the proper shelf, and the shoes are all in the shoe rack. And I mean, I got the house good the last week too. I haven't done shit. It's been awesome. I love it. You don't like it, but I love it. I am so tired of walking around with tiptoeing and
So you just let the house.
oh yeah, yeah. Just messing with room.
Well, I didn't really look at the cleanliness. I was kind of looking at some other stuff, but
Well, okay.
it's not normal. It's not normal for your house. I didn't watch the rest of the house, but I mean, I don't know how you keep your house, but what you're telling me is I keep my house clean for the most part.
Yeah, it's clean, but it's bad.
Okay, all right. Well, and that's good to know. I mean, that's good for me to know.
There's a part of me that was kind of, I don't want to say rebelling, but
You're pissed off because of what happened last Friday. You know, here you are wanting to do something, and he's not giving you the time of day. So, but anyway, back to the sex life. I mean, you're stressed and everything, so you're not in the mood. That's the last thing you can think of
when
right
he's
now.
in there, and it's just like, all right, I'm like, just do what you need to do,
Okay.
you know, and he does, and then he goes out and goes to bed, and then I go to bed.
Okay. Is this happening frequently then?
Very frequently.
Like how much? You would estimate
At
daily?
least 4 times a week.
Okay. And out of those 4 times a week, how many times out of that 4 times a week are you?
No, that's them.
That's him.
That's them. That's the 4 times. So the other 3 times is maybe 2 or 3
So basically every day
every other day.
you guys have sex, and
Oh yeah.
one day, and 4 days out of that 7 days, it's one of those where, okay, it's my duty type of a thing. I'm going to lay here. And does he get rough to where?
When I'm not participating as much, he gets rougher because it's I'm no fun. But that only seems to be when he's in our lead energetic mood,
Okay.
which tends to be when we've been
Okay.
normally Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even Monday, because even this first day back at work, he's not quite dead yet for the week.
Until Tuesday.
But yeah, but he's not. He's multi-talented, and you know, I mean, he has his position, and he might have a couple others that he'll try, but he's not very creative.
Okay. Yeah, and, you know, I mean, that's have you ever talked to him about that?
Yes, I have.
And?
That was another one of those topics that I just let go because I was upset.
On his performance.
Yeah, and
It was basically you letting him know I need more, or I want to try different things. Trying to communicate again.
I don't really communicate unless I'm doing this for him.
That's your perception of what you're doing?
You shouldn't say.
Well, you communicated last night, and from what you're saying, and things kind of took a turn there, so.
I think I pissed him off because that was done.
Well, let's go back to that, because now that I pretty much, I need to get a little history, so I kind of, I mean, you do have bruises. We need to kind of delve into how you got those bruises on your thighs. I mean, that's not something that, you see all the time, but, and I know you mentioned something about possibly being caused by his hip bone or something, the way his hip bone hits you. So I would take it that you would be laying on your back, and he would be on top of you.
And it's not like his hip bone protrudes, but he tries to thrust a certain way that causes his hip bone to rub against it, which I have told him is not the best angle.
That hurts. Okay. But that seems to be the one that he
Likes the most.
likes the most. All right, well, we'll put it at that. You come in the bedroom, he's laying in the bed. This is after the girls go to bed, or after you guys get back from getting coffee. And you go in and he kind of smiles at you. And was he laying in bed at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you walk in, and was he naked or was he clothed?
It covers on, but he was naked underneath.
Okay. And did you realize that when you got into bed with him, or?
No.
Okay.
We knew.
How did you know he was naked?
Kind of obvious when you go to get in under the covers and there's absolutely nothing.
That's what I was, if he was laying in the bed, and you got into bed, and then that's when you realized he was naked. So before you got into the bed, did you know we're going to have sex? Did you get into bed naked?
No.
Okay.
No. I hardly ever been in the bed naked.
Okay. But you had a feeling that something was going to happen between the two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the nice one, right?
Yeah, this is the one where you come back from coffee and drink and...
Yeah, and I mean, I was okay with that, and, put the kids to bed, he fits in there, and I was like, all right, and I snuggled up to him, and I was like, we were between, and I wish it was like this more often.
What did you have on when you got on the bed with him then?
I had my brown t-shirt and then a pair of my lounge pants, the black lounge pants.
Okay, the ones I got from you at the hospital?
The same ones. I put them back on after
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, and so you get in, and he's laying in the bed, and what side of the bed, I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but what side of the bed is your side of the bed?
My side of the bed is supposed to be when you're staring at it from the wall, the left-hand side.
Okay, so let's do this.
See, I said breaks and trips. Okay. This is the wall. This is the closet door.
There you go.
This is the bed. Here's the nightstand.
Okay.
This is supposed to be mine.
Okay, so you're supposed to be on the side of the bed near the closet. So if I walk in the room and I'm looking at your bed, it's right over to the left.
Mm-hmm.
You're on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you say it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes he decides he wants to lie the other way so that he can turn the other way for his back or whatever.
Okay. But that's normally...
That's normally my side of bed.
Okay, so pretty much, unless he has a backache or something else goes on, you're on that side of the bed. And where's the TV at? Is that over here?
TV's okay.
Okay.
Because then here's the bathroom, the inner bathroom area.
Okay, so you normally then sleep on that one side. Yeah, everybody's got a normal side.
Yeah, that's the normal side. But like I said, sometimes he wants to switch, and I don't care. Because for me, I mean, I curl up in a ball no matter what, so it doesn't matter which side I sleep on. Eventually, I'm going to curl up in the same ball.
You're not like me. I gotta be on my side or I don't sleep. Somebody's gonna be in trouble. But normally, so for the most part, you're always on that side of the bed.
Yep.
Okay, so you better get into bed, and this is when, earlier in the night,
Okay.
he's over on this side, you get in, you snuggle up to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happens from there? You said we wish it could always be like
I
that.
said I should be like slow. And I said, and he leaned over and he kissed me, and we had sex, and
this one?
I did.
Okay.
I participated in this one.
Okay, and was it basically you on your back and him on top of you?
That's his favorite position.
Okay, that's normal for you too. Okay. So you guys have sex and it's over. I take it. He ejaculates.
Well, he pulls out. He doesn't like to. He doesn't like to make a mess of his sheets.
If he pulls out, where is
He
he?
pulls out and he holds it and puts it in the towel or a rag. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I lived with that one for a long time too. I'm just gonna let that one go.
So he normal. It's not. He normally
Unless he
doesn't
is purposely trying to,
impregnate you.
he does not do the mess thing.
So are you on the pill or
I
anything?
am completely sterilized. He can never have another child.
All right.
Thank
But
you.
he still will